My God, has it been so long? I've been replaced by a cardboard cutout with a mouth! Oh, how awful! Whatever am I going to do? Fuck off. Yeah, that works. Here I am, folks, back for real. So what have I got for options, Top Hat? Okay, I guess we'll start with video 1. It's as good a place as any.
I think Bering and Patrick himself has done one. We do have a document which gives you some high-level guidelines about,
Bindu, I think you mentioned that before, but you just partially doxed me. Thanks for that.
I doxed you?
No, there's no way I can make this look any worse than it is. Good rule of thumb, Bering, never let yourself get Patricked.
What people don't see, because it's outside the frequency range of their decoding system, is there are entities around these people who are actually controlling these people's thoughts, actions, etc.
No, far too silly to debunk. Definitely much too silly. Listen, folks, I wish to assure you that we reptoids may seem like evil, remorseless beings obsessed with world domination, but we're actually quite harmless and definitely not, I repeat, definitely not in total control of your entire society at all levels. So do not listen to Mr. Ike.
Or else.
Take up the strongest, most robust feminist...
Ew! A girl!
Now this video is going to go through 5 reasons why I believe in God.
Hey! Abu Baker! Nice to see you, man! You didn't kill yourself. That's awesome. I wish I knew how to quit you, Abu Baker.
I can't actually pronounce his name, but because I'm an Islamophobe, I have to get it wrong, you see.
Okay, 5 reasons you believe God exists. Let's go.
There's going to be no connections with the atheist arguments.
If you're explaining why you think God exists, then probably it's already been addressed by an atheist argument, so it kind of does have a connection, but okay, if you say so.
It's just going to be an unabashed, wholesome account of why I believe in God.
What is an unabashed account? And how do you make it wholesome? Sorry, I keep interrupting, I know. I'm sure all of this is going to be explained.
So if you want to jump in to the world of belief, atheists, feel free. After having watched this video.
That's a good tactic, Abu. Project total confidence in your product. Good way to hook him in right from the start.
Right, so point number 1.
As one who really appreciates efficiency, I like your determination to keep your video well organized, even to the point of sacrificing your presentation. Good man.
The first reason why I believe in God is that it's a selfish reason. I want to attain paradise.
Why do I feel like I've done this before? Do you know the difference between a reason you believe in God and a reason that you're happy you believe in God?
This is one selfish aim God's allowed us to have.
So, if you wanting to go to paradise is why you believe in God, do you mean you started believing in God because you believed in paradise, or just that wanting to go to paradise makes you more emotionally attached to your belief and sustains it? If the former, then you believed in paradise before you started believing in God, and then you selfishly decided that you wanted to go there, and then because you wanted to go there, you started believing God exists, and then after that, you started to look into what God allows you to do, and you were happy to discover that He allows you to selfishly want to go to paradise? Well, that was lucky. I mean, imagine if you started believing in God because you selfishly wanted to go to paradise, and only then you found out that He didn't allow you to do that. You'd roast in the hellfire, man. You played Russian roulette and you won, pal. You have no idea how relieved I am for you.
Basically, all our hard work and all our strife in this world will amount to paradise in the next life.
Well, that's good to know. But since paradise apparently precedes God in your reasoning here, I'm just kind of wondering, and I mean, I don't mean to sound skeptical or anything, you know, because I would never do something so cruel. But can you make a video about why you believe paradise exists?
Which is a kind of reward. And it's just God acknowledging your efforts.
Wow! And I would have been happy with a nice souvenir t-shirt. I worked hard for a whole lifetime and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. That kind of thing. But it sounds like this God fella really goes above and beyond. No wonder he does so well on Patreon. Hey, by the way, Abu Baker, Logicked shirts are coming back to Teespring in November, so get ready to get yours.
That's the foremost reason. Because that's what I'm working towards, attaining paradise.
Yeah, about that, I meant to ask someone. I heard you can check your points online, but nobody ever told me what website to visit. Or am I thinking of Air Miles?
And if I was to end up on the other side in hellfire, out of my work in this world, would be futile.
That's... Wait, really? Futile? But I'm already in the hellfire. I mean, my backyard is literally just hellfire, hot rocks, and a vagina dentata tree. And my house looks like something MC Escher and H.P. Lovecraft got together and built while they were high on fentanyl. And those tentacles, man, they creep me out. Especially those ones with the one transparent sucker. That's been freaking me out for months, man. I need to get out of here. I really do. Do any of you people remember my house from before I died of that heart attack? The one with the gray wood walls? You know, that was a nice little cabin out in the woods. I'd always go outside, I'd feed the deer and the bluebirds, and there was never any shortage of millipedes to squish or spiders to decorate with. And now when I go outside, my yard's nothing but hot rocks and lava. So hot rocks and hotter rocks. And my vagina dentata tree looks nice and all, and it's useful when I get lonely, but I could do with some variety, you know? But I don't know how to get out. I don't know how to escape, because I'm dead. Has anyone ever come back from hell? I really want to come back from hell, Abu Baker. If I want it hard enough, will I start to believe it will happen?
Number 2 reason why I believe in God.
Ordinarily, your highly organized list format would cheer me up, but now I just...
Number 2 reason why I believe in God is I need him.
Very slow facepalm here. Delete this audio afterwards.
I need to acknowledge his presence in my life.
How does a weird desire to acknowledge something's presence tell you whether it's actually present?
I need to acknowledge that he sustains me, and that if he was to take away anything from me, I'd be gone.
Oh, you sound really upset about it, pal. You want to drink some whiskey with me and talk about it?
I would not be able to survive.
Oh, you're a lightweight, are you? Well, I hate to be the only one drinking, but I'm starting to need it, so I'm gonna do it anyway if you don't mind.
I'm sure we all feel like we will be able to survive. We look at the modern world around us and the means we have and the capacity to do incredible things. But just imagine if God didn't send water down on earth.
No need for water when you got whiskey.
Imagine how long we'd survive.
Quite a while, I would think, since water falls to earth because of the hydrologic cycle, not because God's throwing raindrops.
Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks.
Oh, my bad. So if God stopped existing tomorrow, the hydrologic cycle would stop cycling? I must have misunderstood how it works then. So God just does the whole cycle? He puts some water down, and he picks some water up, and he puts more water down, and he picks more water up for billions of years? That's more menial than standing at a conveyor belt sticking heads on dolls. And he doesn't even get a paycheck. He should join a union. Although I heard he's not big on unions.
Imagine if God made the sun stop operating and we had no sunlight on Earth.
Okay, so God doesn't operate the sun himself. I guess that's just a sustained process that works by the laws of physics that he set up. Unlike the hydrologic cycle. That process is just way too complicated to work all on its own. God's definitely doing that bit himself. Gotta keep those droughts and floods on schedule.
How long would we survive? Maybe a month? And we'd be gone.
Most of us a lot less than that, I'd guess, but some of us could probably survive a lot longer if we mobilized real quick to make use of fossil fuels, nuclear, geothermal, whatever other forms of energy to generate heat and light, and, make artificial greenhouses to grow plants. And hey, at least we wouldn't have to worry about getting raped in the wallet by ineffective carbon taxes anymore.
And it's these similitudes and these parallels which make you think how much you actually need God.
Similitudes and parallels to what? Wait, we need God so that God doesn't turn off the sun?
So that's one of the reasons I need to acknowledge his presence in my life, and I need to thank him and be grateful for what I do have, because if I'm grateful, that can only be a good thing.
So you were convinced to believe in God because you have some sort of addiction to thanking God for things. I'd really like to look through the DSM-5 for that condition, but I don't have my copy here. The Vortex company said my luggage was too heavy, so I had to leave all my books behind at the Vortex port, except of course for my Illuminati handbook and my copy of How to Avoid Huge Ships. Very important.
Number 3 argument why I believe in God.
Don't worry, pal, there's no need for a number 3. You've already convinced me. You clearly have very solid, evidence-based reasons to believe in God.
Is because it helps me through hard times. It gives me a level of patience.
Say, when are you going to bring up your God exists because I like Thursdays argument? Surely that played a part in convincing you to believe in God.
And I know that a lot of atheists and a lot of non-believers say you don't need to believe in God to be patient. But you just try. You just imagine yourself suffering terribly. I mean, if you are disabled and deceased and terminally ill, just imagine those days where you're sat in a wheelchair and you become more depressed and down to the point where your soul or your chemical body or your physical body can find no hope.
I got all kinds of hope in my chemical body. Don't you be trying to tell me what my chemical body's got, son. So your argument is what? People believe in God when they're in extreme circumstances, or maybe you want to believe in God now just in case you get into one of those extreme circumstances and you need to fill up your chemical body with hope? Either way, your reasoning, for lack of a better word, is basically that people do think and feel really weird shit when raw emotions take precedence over rationality when they're pushed to the limit, and that's why you believe in God. Well, thanks for informing me that your belief is rooted in irrationality, but I already kind of knew that. It's an anesthetic against the harshness of reality. A placebo one at that. Yes, Abu Baker, there definitely are people who turn to religion in extreme circumstances, and there are also people who stop being religious because of those extreme circumstances. Neither of these things should convince you that God does or does not exist. All they should tell you is something about how humans search for something to comfort them in times of stress, and occasionally they turn to theistic religion, which they've been surrounded by in their culture for probably their whole lives. Similarly, when my little daughter starts crying, she hugs a stuffed bunny rabbit. I don't really see the difference.
It's in that moment where you believe in God. Like the rugby player, South African rugby player who's become paralyzed. He actually said in an interview that being paralyzed has been a blessing because it strengthened his faith and made him a better Christian, and it's made him acknowledge the blessings of life. How belief in God is such a blessing.
Okay, real nice for him that he finds his delusion comforting, and it sounds like he managed to spin his disability into a real good way to proselytize too. That's handy. I bet Jesus will love him for that.
And you wouldn't understand how much of a blessing it is to believe in God until you do believe in God.
Stop that! You stop that! I already used that joke. We're not doing that.
Number 4 reason why I believe in God is because it's I need him.
What? But that was your number 2 reason.
Number 2 reason why I believe in God is I need him.
You can't use the same reason twice. I know there aren't any good reasons, but surely you can come up with more than 3 bad ones.
I need him after I die.
But that was your first reason!
I want to attain paradise.
What is happening?
Sort of insurance policy, if you will.
I will not, but thank you.
But I don't think of it like that, because it's actually rude to think like that, to dismiss God as an insurance policy.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you only dismissed your belief in God as an insurance policy, not God himself. But if it's rude to think of your insurance policy as an insurance policy, then what do you think of it as?
There's an argument that you might as well believe in God, because if he does exist, you've got paradise. And if he doesn't exist, there's not going to be anything that's going to reward you.
Too bad for you, the actual God made this world as a test to separate the good rational people from the evil irrational people. And you're miserably failing the test. So when I go up to paradise to enjoy infinite whiskey and blowjobs, you're gonna go to the hellfire. But not only are you gonna be stuck in the hellfire forever, it's also infinitely more painful than your puny god's hellfire. And if you don't believe me, well, I have proof. See, Saturdays and October are really nice. And my disbelief in my God helps me get through hard times, and I really want to go to paradise. There, now I have just as much evidence as you do, so you'd better stop believing in God if you really want to attain paradise. Sorry, God, I really don't believe in you, I promise. I just wanted to explain reality to Abu Baker so he understands why Pascal's wager doesn't work. Please don't burn me.
He's gonna smile upon you in the next life, and he's going to give you back and return to you everything that you worked for.
Does that also apply if I go back to the previous life? Because I worked really, really hard for my nice little house. Do you know how long it takes to pay off a 3,500-year mortgage? 3,500 years is the answer. I guess that was an easy question. Oh, nice entrance. Damn, Abu Baker, you're getting some serious production value.
The next argument why I believe in God is because I love him.
Makes sense. Yep. You love God, so you started believing in him. Yeah, how many times are you going to repeat the exact same basic argument?
See, there's a little place in my heart where I love God, and I know it.
Is it the right atrium? I bet it's the right atrium. Everyone thinks it's supposed to be the right atrium nowadays. Stop doing this, people. Have some fucking fashion sense. It's the left atrium.
And it's from that love that strengthens my spirit. And I can love you can love a lot of things in life.
You made me remember the Spice Girls. I don't like you anymore.
You can love your wife, your kids, your family. But loving God is a different kind of love.
If you say it's better, I'm gonna go apeshit.
It's a higher form of love.
Okay, I don't really feel like going apeshit right now. I'm just gonna sigh instead.
and it's an unbreakable bond.
Unbreakable, huh? What if you sincerely say there is no God and Muhammad is a fraud?
And it strengthens your soul. I can give you the example of boxers, the sport. You'll see that a lot of boxers believe in God because it strengthens them on the inside. And a man is weak without belief, because once your heart becomes weak, your whole body becomes weak.
I agree that you shouldn't be boxing if you have a heart condition, but I really don't get what that has to do with God.
And your soul becomes weak.
That just won't do for boxing. As we all know, a weak soul has a hard time pulling the strings of the meat puppet.
And as you know, a boxer cannot go into a ring with any sign of weakness.
Actually, making your opponent think you're weak could work. Get him feeling cocky, wasting all of his energy, and then you destroy him. I know you're not actually talking about boxing strategy, but why should I take this seriously?
That's where you'll find all these Muhammad Ali's and Mayweathers and all these boxers. You'll find that's the reason why they believe in God.
Boxers believe in God because they're sitting around in the gym one day as atheists going, damn it, I trained so hard and I'm still so weak. And then some shady looking guy walks up to them and says, hey, feeling a little low energy? I got something that might help with that, if you're interested. And the boxer goes, nah, man, I don't do steroids. They test for that shit. And the guy says, no, man, it's something even better. And it's not even against the rules. God, man, this shit is the rizzle dizzle my nizzle.
Now I should talk about why you should believe in God.
But I thought, okay, so I shouldn't believe in God for those other 5 reasons? Those are just for you. Okay.
You have to look at it carefully, properly. Do not fall for this of the now, here and now. Don't think about the short-term satisfaction you get from believing God.
Are you serious? Almost every single reason you've presented so far was about how believing in God makes you feel better in the here and now. The sole exception was Pascal's wager. Practice what you preach, Abu Baker, come on.
For short-term satisfaction and short-term lust is just something, is more chemical reaction than anything else.
Jesus, man. You're talking about reasons to believe in God, not reasons to try and fuck him. I can think of some good reasons for that, though. I bet that orgasm goes on forever.
It comes and it goes.
Oh, never mind then. It's kind of disappointing.
And that's where atheists become disillusioned with religion.
Who wouldn't? If fucking God doesn't even get you an eternal orgasm, then what's the point? I'll stick to my vagina dentata tree.
They see people in the church and they see them praying and singing a hymn, and they see this outburst of laughter and enjoyment, and they use it against them to think that they're weak. And it's just a form of entertainment.
I don't understand what this has to do with fucking God. Oh! Sorry, man, I think I really misunderstood what you were talking about just now. Okay, why would I think someone's weak just for singing and laughing? I mean, sure, they're misguided for singing a song about a God that doesn't exist, and their belief means they're gonna be sent to the hellfire, but weak?
Religion is a very long-term plan and strategy.
Oh, I think I get it now. So, what you're failing to express is that you think atheists think religious people are weak because they see the praying and singing and laughing, and they think that the only reason people believe is because it satisfies some short-term lust for those activities. Is that it? And you want to explain that there's more to it than that. Well, shit, I could have told you that. The praying and singing and stuff are just tools to sink the claws in deeper emotionally, but they're not the only things that make people believe. Fucking obviously.
And to love God it's not overnight. It's a very complex procedure.
It can't be that complex. I mean, you just said you believe in God because you love him. So if love has causal precedence, apparently you can love God without even believing in him first. Unless, I guess, you were proposing some sort of reinforcement loop where you believe in God because you love him, and you love him because you believe in him. So at that point, the real question is whether the chicken or the egg came first. But probably not, that sounds a little bit too complex for you. Say, if God stood on the peak of a triangular roof and laid an egg, which way would it fall? The answer is, are you implying God is part of his creation, infidel?
It's a very complex procedure where you have to show patience, you have to ask for God's forgiveness, you have to try to become a better person, you have to make sure that you won't sin as much as you normally do. You gotta know that God is knowing of everything that you do.
You need to do all that just to get to the point of loving God? What if you just, feel love for him? That doesn't count as loving God?
There's a lot of things that add up to this state of a higher, transcendent, lofty position.
I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you.
And you can't just say it by word. If I just say by word, I believe in God, that means nothing. It means nothing at all.
I agree. And in the same vein, saying, I believe in God because I want to believe in God, also means nothing at all. You can believe in God and hate that you believe in God. You can really want to believe in God and still not believe. Your opinion on your belief or lack thereof is not the reason you have that belief. Because you can't just decide to believe something and actually believe it from then on. If you could, then you could start believing just by telling yourself, I believe in God. It would not be a meaningless sentence. No, the reason you believe isn't that the idea of believing sounds real nice to you. It's that you, and probably also someone else, have willfully worked to suppress your reason, increase your emotions, make you feel scared of what life and death would be like without the belief, and force your thoughts to conform to the mold so that you just feel that God exists without having any real reason that you can articulate. You were absolutely right when you called it a complex procedure, but unfortunately it's also a very effective one for convincing people to believe absurdities.
You gotta have a relationship with God.
What I just described is the reality of what a relationship with God is. No thanks, I will not be inflicting that kind of damage on myself. I'll stick to having a relationship with people who actually exist. Oh, and based on what I've seen from you so far, in this video and others, I think my best bet is to do the exact opposite of whatever you say I should do.
And I want you to know that life is a blessing. So you can embrace it. Or you can just live and wonder what could have been.
Thanks, I will embrace it. That's why I do my best to accept it as it actually is. And when you stack up all the evidence, including all the evidence you've ever presented, the only thing that's clearly true is that I'm alive right now. So I live life for life's sake so that when I reach the end, hopefully I won't have too many regretful wishes for what could have been. But you can go on living life for death's sake if you really want to, and guarantee that the things that could have been in your life, if you'd focused on life instead, will never be. Ah shit, the fourth wall fell down. Ezet, can you come put the fourth wall back up?
And when God will present to you one day everything that you did, I'm hoping then that you strived and you were of those who tried to better yourself, and you was of those who tried to believe in God.
You see what I mean? You're only living for the sake of death. Don't better yourself because you want to improve your life and the lives of others. No, do it because when you're dead, you're going to be judged. Don't believe or disbelieve things based on the evidence. Do it because someday you'll die. And if you don't believe, oh boy, you're going to regret it.
And you crossed that barrier to belief and didn't wonder.
Don't even wonder if it's really true. Just believe. If you wonder about it, you're doing it wrong. And the God I love will torture you forever. Oh, how I love him.
And didn't stagnate in agnosticism or agnostic views or atheist views. There's no such thing as maybe believing in God and maybe not. Your soul tells you have to believe in God or you don't.
That's right. At any given moment, you're either convinced God exists or you're not. If you're not quite sure if you believe in him or not, then you don't believe in him, and you're an atheist. Embrace what you are, or rather, embrace that you're not what you're not. Thanks, Abu Baker, for helping me make this little PSA for the so-called agnostics. I didn't think you'd want more self-described atheists wandering around, but I won't complain.
So that's it, guys. I hope one of the 5 reasons which I gave inspires you to believe in God.
Nope! All it inspires me to do is wonder how the hell you thought this video could possibly inspire anyone to do anything of the sort. I feel like you've converted me into like a double atheist. I don't believe in God, and then I don't believe in God all over again.
Bye.
I really don't want to end on that. I feel like we had lots of fun towards the start, and then you kind of dragged us down to end on a low note. Damn you for being such a depressing-ass motherfucker, Abu Baker. Okay, I want to close on something hilarious, but what could I use?
If somebody watches a video that like The Amazing Atheist makes about me, or Sargon makes about me, or you know, what some other fucking asshole like I don't know, like Logicked or Armored Skeptic.
I present to you the new 4 horsemen. That did it. I am back to 100% cheerfulness. Bye! Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to catch my next video and all the ones after that. And if you want to support this channel, the very best things you can do are share my videos as much as you can, and subscribe. By the way, it's become clear that YouTube has been purging active subscribers lately. I assume it's a bug. So if you think you're subscribed, just have a quick check and make sure you actually are, because otherwise you might be missing out on lots of my future videos. But you can also like this video, comment, and so on. Or if you really love this channel, you can support me on Patreon. And you see here the people who support me at $10 or more, and here are the people who support me at $5 or more, but less than 10. Every single person who's contributing on Patreon is very much appreciated, as are the people who are contributing on PayPal, which you can also do if you want to do a one-off donation. And if you want to get updates or just talk to me, Twitter's the best way, and I also use Facebook sometimes, so follow me in both those places, or whichever one you prefer, and I'll see you soon.